Welcome to our talk about the competitive firm. In particular, we're going to be talking about perfect competition. And this kind of starts a new subject in economics, and the subject is going to be market structure. Market structure. And this is a very important concept in economics, especially microeconomics. And the way you look at market structures, you look at it this way. Oops, let me go back. Well, I can write on the slide. Every firm belongs to an industry, and every industry has a market structure. Get rid of that little line there. Now, think about this. You may work for, let's say, a brewery, and you make beer. Well, your industry, you don't have to define your industry broadly and narrowly. And you're going to have a different market structure depending upon how you define your industry. For example, let's say you, how would you define your industry? Well, you could look at your industry as beverages. That's a very broad way of looking at it. And who are you taking into account in terms of competition when you look at your industry that way? Where are you looking at alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks? Now, I think, to me, that's a little too broad. The reason why, I don't think Budweiser really competes with Snapple. Even though they're both beverages, they're not really competing for the same customers. So I think beverages is too broad. Well, what about alcoholic beverages? Well, in this case, you're looking at both beer and spirits, hard alcohol, vodka, whiskey, that sort of thing. I think that's pretty broad, and that's as broad as I would take it. Now, what about narrow? Narrow, you're only looking at direct competitors. You're looking at competitors who your customers feel their product is a close substitute. And of course, we would limit it to just beer, and maybe even macro brew beer or micro brew beer, dark beer, ales. These are all very narrow definitions of the industry. And in each case, the broad case and the narrow case, they have different market structures. And what market structure really measures is competition. To be very accurate, market structure measures industry concentration. But concentration is a way of looking at competition. Concentration means, if the industry is highly concentrated, that means there are only a few firms who supply most of the market. If there's no concentration, well, that means there are many, many small firms with small market share. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at different market structures, and we're going to be looking at perfect competition first. So before we do that, think about it. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at how does a firm in a particular industry with a particular market structure, how do they maximize profit? So if we're going to be talking about profit, we have to talk about define profit. The basic incentive of producing goods is that you're going to expect profit. Any type of profit? Well, profit, generally speaking, is total revenue minus total cost. But profit isn't the only reason why people go into business. We have a name for them. We call them non-profit, right? And some people go into business to help others. And some people go into business for profit, but profit isn't their priority. So, when you think about it, some people look at the profit as a form of exploitation. In other words, it has a bad connotation to it. And one of the reasons why profit may have a bad reputation is because some people overestimate the amount of profit that a typical product earns a company. In the United States, a typical consumer believes 35 cents of every sales dollar goes to profit. And that's a 35% profit margin. That's rather lucrative if you're a business. But that's not even close to the typical firm. Typically, it's more like 5 cents for every dollar of sales goes to profit. That's a 5% profit margin. So can you see, if you have a 35% profit margin in your head, you can easily feel that a firm can come down in price, still earn a profit, and ease the burden on you a little bit. But if you're thinking 35% is a typical profit margin, they could easily drop it to 25%, save you some money, and they'll still be earning a lot of money. But if we cut it by 10%, and the reality is 5%, well, they would be losing 5% if they cut 10%. So you can see how one of the things that influences people's attitudes towards profit is their estimate as to what they think typical firm is making. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at two different types of profits, normal profit and economic profit. Normal profit is what a typical firm earns in the marketplace. In other words, it's average profit, not unusual. Economic profit is something different. Economic profit is any amount above normal profit. Now think about this. If you are an entrepreneur, one of the things that you have to accept being an entrepreneur, somebody who utilizes factors of production in a new way, you have to accept risk. It's risky to be an entrepreneur. Therefore, if you are going to risk your money, your time, and your effort, you're not going to be satisfied with a normal profit. You will only accept economic profit, something above average, to compensate you for taking on risk. Because think about it. Other than taking on risk, if you have money to invest in a new business, why not park in a certificate of deposit, CD, earn a normal return and not take on the risk? So you can see how economic profit is the incentive of risk. So whenever we speak about profit from this point out, we're going to be speaking about economic profit. So by definition, if you're earning an economic profit, you're attracting attention because you're doing something unusual. So like I said, market structure. Your economic profit will be determined by many things. One of them is going to be your ability. How smart are you? Are you kind of savvy in the marketplace? Another would be luck. You could be lucky in terms of timing, bringing your good to market. Another one is going to be market. How competitive is your industry? Because the level of competition will determine the level of economic profit, especially in the long run. And again, market structure is a measurement of competition, and typically it's the number and relative size of firms in your industry. Now, perfect competition is a market structure in which no seller has market power. Market power is the ability for you to influence market price. Now, how do you influence market price? Well, let's look at supply and demand. Here's a supply curve, here's a demand curve. Well, here's the equilibrium price. Here's equilibrium quantity. Now, if you have market power, you have the ability of shifting the market supply curve either to the left or to the right. If you want price to go up, if you have enough control over market supply, let's say you control 80% of the market, if you decide to produce less at all price levels, you will shift market supply curve to the left. And you can see equilibrium price will increase. So that's market power. And a firm in a perfectly regulated industry has no market power. Now, the flip side to this is a monopoly. A monopoly is the only firm in the market, so they control 100% of the market supply. So they definitely can shift the market supply curve, so they have market power. And a way to look at it is think of it as a spectrum. At one end of the spectrum is perfect competition. At the other end of the spectrum is monopoly. And industries fall somewhere along this spectrum. And what we do is we have some broad categories of market structure. We have monopolistic competition, oligopoly, duopoly. When industries, let's say an industry falls right about here, this says something about the level of competition or concentration in the industry. If people hop into the market, if firms come into the market, it increases the level of competition. The market structure position moves this way. If people leave the market, the level of competition drops, market structure moves this way. So here we have perfect competition, here we have no competition, so everything in the middle is some degree of imperfect competition. So we're going to be talking about specifically about perfect competition in the next video, so that's all for now.